into permanent.
And the minutes, what did you deliberate on?
Yes, the board deliberated and deliberated through those minutes I've said that can be found on page 356 to 360 of volume 4 and page 363 to 369 of volume 4. And after deliberation, the board communicated to the county secretary for implementation of the decisions of the board.
Yes. So when you are doing so, was there communication that the relevant departmental heads had made those requests?
Yes.
And the gentleman says that by so absorbing those people at the request of the relevant departmental heads and as communicated to you by the CS and as confirmed to you by the minutes, you are in breach of section 63(2)(a) of the County Governments Act. Does that section allow you to do that?
Now, section 63(2) says the power of the County Public Service Board under section 1 shall be exercised.
Can you read it to the committee? Begin from 1.
Now, section 63 says, except as provided in the Constitution or legislation, the County Public Service Board has the power to make appointments, including promotions in respect of officers in the County Public Service Board.
Yes.
2, the power of the County Public Service Board under subsection 1 shall be exercised, 1, at the request of relevant county chief officers of the department to which the appointment is to be made.
Yes.
On the County Public Service Board's own motion on account of best interest of the county public service and parity of treatment of the public officers, taking into account the circumstances of each case.
So does this section give you the powers, even on your own motion, to do that?
Yes.
Did you do it in the interest of the county public service?
Yes, we did it in the interest of the county public service, and as I said earlier, there was commitment from the CCM Finance of availability of funding. You can look at page 302.
Page 302 of which bundle?
Of volume 4.
Yes.
Volume 3. Volume 3.
302, volume 3.
Yeah.
So read it. Read that commitment.
All the way. It has a number of names, but let me read the introduction. It says, to the county secretary and the head of county public service, financial resolve for various positions. Based on the recommendations of the County Public Service Board, we confirm financial resolves for the 219 positions listed in the table below. Now, this is for various cadres that the board had engaged.
Yes. And it runs from which page to which page, so that when they go to sit down, they can read for themselves?
It runs to... It runs from 304 to 340.
To 340?
Yes.
So this gentleman saying that you see these cashiers should have remained cashiers for the whole of their life. You should not have absorbed them. It's bad. You are breaching the Constitution. Is he acting in the interest of those cashiers? Should somebody remain in that position for all of his life? Is it prudent for a county worker to remain a cashier for the whole of his life?
It is not.
As a human resource body with a function, what will happen if Madam Sergeant at Arms remains in that position for 20 years?
Such at a time will lose morale,
Yes?
will be disillusioned, will lose interest in the job.
We lose interest in the job. And it's your function to disillusion people and make them lose their interest in their jobs?
We have best practices in rewarding employees
You have best practice in rewarding employees.
based on law.
So when you are told that by so doing, you are in breach of law and the Constitution, do you agree with him?
We did not breach any law, we did not breach the Constitution.
Let's go now to the next allegation at page 32. He has now dealt with the cleaners, he has gone to ECD teachers and TVET teachers, he has gone to casuals. You can see his level of thinking. He's now gone to promotions. Those are the people he's fighting, not you. So at page 32, he is saying that you promoted people without following the laid down procedures and the regulations. And he has dropped names as his duty at 53 A, B, C, D, all through
All right.
to 57. Tell us and tell this committee, how does the process of promotions come about?
Thank you. Pursuant to Article 174 and 235 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 59 of the County Government Act 2012, amended in 2020, and the Kisii County Human Resource Policies and Procedures Manual, April 2018, and the County Public Service Board is espoused as the superintendent organ of the human resource management in the county government. Further, the County Public Service Board is mandated to carry out its functions of human resource management, which includes but not limited to establishing and policing officers, exercising disciplinary control, promotions, trainings, and the capacity building, among others, in line with Section 59, Section 60, Section 61, 62, 63, 69, and 70 of the County Government Act 2012, amended 2020. Therefore, it is squarely the constitutional mandate of the board. Therefore, it is squarely the constitutional mandate of the board to promote county public officers upon them meeting the requirements for promotion and or redesignation. It is of importance to note that there are various factors considered in determining merit for promotion. Some of the factors that are considered in promotion of the officers are ability and performance, the prescribed length of service, merit, recognition or reward, acquisition of higher qualifications, succession management, retention strategy, upgrading, multidisciplinary knowledge, and the board also can waiver some aspects, especially when it comes to succession management.
So the question I'm asking you, do you as a board have the power to do promotions?
Yes, we have the power to do
Where is
promotions.
that power found? Just if you can refer us to the County Government Act.
Except as provided in the
You are reading which
Constitution, Section 63, powers of the County Public Service Board. Except as provided For in the Constitution of Registration, the County Public Service Board has the power to make appointments, including promotions, in respect of officers in the County Public Service.
And have they set out how you go about it as subsection 2 in terms of promotions?
The power of the County Public Service Board under subsection 1 shall be exercised at the request of relevant county chief officers or departments to which the appointment is made, and 2, on the county public service's own motion on account of best interest of the county public service and the parity of treatment of public officers, taking into account the circumstances of each case.
So these are the parameters that the law sets for you when you're considering promotions?
Yes.
Did you preach any of this? Did you not act on your own motion?
We looked at each case on its own merits.
You looked at this case on its own merits.
And
yes,
relied on we relied on our schemes of service. We relied on our Kisii County Government Human Resource Policies and Procedures Manual.
Yes.
We relied on various schemes. We also relied on our staff establishments.
On your staff establishments. Where are those manuals that you relied on? Which page are they found so that they can read them? They are thinking that you sat at DADOS and just started to promote people. Can you tell us where those manuals are, which when you are considering a promotion, you'll just look at before doing it?
The Human Resource Policies and Procedures Manual for Kisii County Public Service Board is here, and it's also in the website, Kisii County website.
And is a law?
Yes, it's a law.
Yes.
On delegated legislation.
Yes. Proceed.
The Public Service Commission Act is available in volume 2.
Yes.
Page 110A. The schemes of service are also available as from 157, volume 2, 157A, all the way to 197, that is volume 2. And if I may read an excerpt from the Kisii County Human Resource Policies Procedures Manual on promotions, that is page 37. Promotions to the public service will be based on qualifications and other requirements for appointment as stipulated in the career progression guidelines, which we have already said we have. In selecting candidates for promotions, regard shall be given to affording adequate and equal opportunities to all gender, youth, members of all ethnic groups, persons with disabilities, and minorities. Yes. Then it also goes on to talk about promotions dependent on the examinations, those who get higher qualifications. There is also promotions for officers serving in common cadre who may not require to come for interviews, but shall require the length of service. Then we have aspects of, that we consider in promotions, that is seniority. Then departments also sit through a departmental human resource advisory committee, commonly known as the THRMAC, and considered officers serving in those departments for promotions, and they forward their recommendations to the board for consideration.
Yes.
So these cases These cases are considered individually. These cases are considered individually, each with its own merit. They are considered fairly.
Which document are you referring to so that the others can follow?
Refer to volume 3.
Yes.
Page 202. Advancement within a scheme. Now, we said that we also use schemes of service to consider promotions. I want to read number 8, item number 8 on page 203, volume 3. Advancement within the scheme of service. It is emphasized that the qualifications and other conditions set out in this scheme of service are the basic minimum requirements entitling an officer to be considered for appointment or promotion. In addition, advancement from one grade to another will depend on, 1, existence of vacancy in authorized establishment. I have already indicated that we have an authorized establishment.
Now, can you take us through documents which would show that those schemes of service are available, and where are those schemes of service? Tell them the pages.
I've already said volume 3.
Yes.
From 3.
From page to what?
From 3. From 30. Yes, from 198.
Yes.
All the way to 273.
Yeah.
Yes.
198 to 273.
Yes.
Can you also tell the committee where requests made by line departments requesting you to promote staff on certain credentials? Just go to the documents.
Yeah, we want to give you an example.
Yes.
On volume 4. I want to give you an example, volume 4, page 430.
What is that, 430?
Request from a chief officer.
Yes.
Requesting, oh no, sorry. Sorry. Yes, 432.
432.
Yes.
What is it? Can you read it out?
A recommendation for promotion on merit.
Yes.
There are a number of names here. I can read some.
Read the letter, the introduction, and then who has done the letter and the date of the letter.
Now, to the acting Secretary, County Public Service Board, through the county.
The letter is from who?
Okay, it's written through the county secretary.
The letter is written by who?
This time the letter was written by the CEC administration. Was the CEC in the Department of Administration, Corporate Services and Stakeholder Management.
Yes, and it's addressed to who?
It is addressed to the Acting Secretary, County Public Service Board.
Yes.
Through the County Secretary and the Head of Public Service.
What is the date of the letter?
The date of the letter is 28 October 2020.
What does it say, the first two paragraphs?
Recommendation for promotion on merit.
Yes.
The above subject matter refers.
Yes.
The following officers have demonstrated a lot of dedication, commitment, and enthusiasm in their work that has caught the eyes of the government. Their hard work and dedication was outstanding during the preparation for the recently held Mashujal Day celebrations, where they formed the Secretariat to the Coordinating Committee. To reward their outstanding performance in dispensing their duties, it is hereby recommended that they be promoted as a commendation for their hard work.
And what are the names they have listed? Just
They have
the names?
listed the names Rebecca Nyang'au.
Yes.
They have listed Lilian Bonareri.
Yes.
Maisiba.
Yes. Proceed. Just read all the names.
I read the names.
Yeah.
Okay, I will read the names, but there are some that I may read through the recommendation, what it entails.
Yeah.
Irene Kwamboka Nyang'wara.
Yes.
Now, if I may read one case highlighted, Lilian Bonareri Maisiba,
Yes.
Chief Public Communications Officer.
Yes.
The officer has been handling enormous responsibilities, serving in the first department of administration, corporate services, and stakeholder management. She has been outstanding in the dispensation of her duties in the following areas. 1. Assisting the CEC in coordination of government business with other departments.
Yes.
Coordination of business between the county headquarters and the developed units. Stakeholder management and engagement issues where she developed the stakeholder database and coordinates business with external stakeholders. B. Participation in donor funding activities in liaison with the Office of the Economic Advisor. E. Assists in coordination of intergovernmental issues with the national government and other government agencies. Outstanding performance as designated public communication officers in the World Bank funded KDSP program that saw an increase in the county's allocation. Preparations for Madaraka and later Masucha Day celebrations. Participation in the County Emergency Response Committee Secretariat during the COVID-19 pandemic, among others.
Yes.
So that is an example of a recommendation of an officer.
Yes. Which other recommendation you can tell the committee, and where is it found?
There is now, we can also say, I want to say that the board does not sometimes honor all the requests. Sometimes it declines. Now, if you look at 435 of the same volume, this is now a reminder of a recommendation that had been made to the board for various officers, for 12 officers, and I can read their names because there are not very many.
Can you read the letter beginning from above?
The letter is, reference is made to my letter. The letter is addressed to the Acting Secretary, County Public Service Board. Reminder, commendation for promotion. Reference is made to my letter reference number KSI CM 11/20 dated 2nd November 2020 as below detailed. The CECM Finance and Economic Planning submitted a recommendation for promotions of the underlisted officers working in his office due to the nature and the duties of his office. These officers work for long hours in the night, including weekends. The officers have demonstrated commitment and dedication in carrying out duties beyond the normal working hours and have consistently good performance, hence recommended for promotion. The officers in this case were Derek Omondi, Obita, Administrative Officer, Florence Magesa, Office Administrative Officer, Facilika Gisore, Support Staff, Jacqueline Areri, Support Staff, Wesley Onyanja, Driver, Rebecca Nyang'au, Assistant Director, ECD, Dolphin Omai, Principal Accountant, Sakius Omwenga, Acting Assistant Director, Vivian Omariba, Research Officer, Alfred Mureka, a Chief Officer, Gladys Ndegwa, Senior Records Officer. The current job groups are indicated and the proposed job groups are also indicated. You can see there.
Now, you have indicated a lot of documents on the issue of requests. Do you consider those requests and deserving cases for promotion, and do you have minutes to that effect?
Yes.
Where are those minutes found?
Yes, the minutes are, okay, these are not written. Four. Now, if you look at 445, the minutes for one meeting held on 6th July 2022 at the new boardroom at 10 a.m. discussed issues to do with promotions, and the decisions were later communicated to the County Secretary for implementation. I can read.
Which are those minutes you are referring to?
We are referring to
the date of the minutes.
The date of the minutes of the Kisii County Public Service Board,
yes,
meeting held on 6th July 2022 at the new boardroom at 10 a.m. Present.
Okay. And then the minutes ran up to which page?
They ran up to They ran up to 451.
And was that decision communicated to the board?
Yes, it was communicated from the board to the county secretary.
Where is that communication?
Yes, it is on page 441.
Page 441 is the communication.
Yes.
Are there additional minutes also?
Now, these are part of the minutes of the board, because the board continues to have minutes from time to time. This is to demonstrate that this is the process that takes place.
Just look at the other document where there are any you can see.
We can also look at 459.
459
is also, we also have minutes which also discussed promotions and resignations.
And were people promoted through those minutes?
Yes.
And was the decision communicated to the relevant departments?
Yes.
Those minutes ran from which page to which page?
They ran from 459 to 469.
459 to 469.
Yes. We also have
which other minutes again?
We also have other minutes that ran from 470.
Which page? 470?
Yes.
And which page?
They ran through to 473.
473.
Yes.
And the names of all those persons, how they were promoted and how communication were done, are the ones now the petition has presented here?
Some, if you look at those minutes, some were promoted, some were not promoted, because we say the board considered each case on its own merit.
Each case on its own merit?
Yes.
According to the petition on page 35, he says you were not considering merit. You were not considering competition and the diversity of the people in the county. Is it true?
No, we were considering merit.
Yes.
And there are even some of the cases the petition has flagged out.
Yes.
I wish to go through them. So based on the many parameters, the board wishes to clarify the following cases raised by the petitioner. 1, Albert Omwenga Nyakundi. The officer was employed by the former local authority, where the salary grading apply based on collective bargaining agreement. These officers were inherited from local authority as it was required by the transitional authority. Now these people were serving and they had a collective bargaining agreement which had actually improved their terms of service, their salaries, compared to the mainstream public service. Now, this officer, Albert Omwenga Nyakundi, was one such officer whose salary scale grading applied to the collective bargaining agreement between the employees of the former defunct local authorities and the employees. And thus these employees were inherited with the same terms. So we could not, the county government of Kisii could not change those terms. Okay. The board adhered to the following in promoting the officer. Yes. The officer had stagnated in the same job group from 2013 to 20. He had stagnated 2013 up to 2022. Now, this officer was, his personal emoluments, the officer was earning. If we want to confirm, when we want to convert this officer to the new, to the normal scales that apply in the public service, his salary is higher. Therefore, for him to fit into our, the mainstream public service, his salary was equivalent to 2 job groups ahead. And that is why the officer was placed in scale 13 for purposes of conversion to our mainstream scheme of service. Then we relied on the transition authority circulars, and then we relied on the schemes of service and the qualifications of the officer.
So the question is for that officer, could you have reduced his salary?
No, the rules do not allow for anybody to reduce serving officers' salary.
Do the rules allow one officer in the same scale to earn more than the others in the same scale?
No, but what this is a
you are talking about scales.
This is an exception.
We are talking about scales. For instance, if you were to place him in the scale which he came with, yet his salary was of the higher scale,
then he could earn higher than the other officers in that category.
And what could be the effect?
He could not fit in the scheme of service, and even the IFMIS that pays, that we use, the platform we use to pay, cannot accept that.
Now this gentleman believes that you should not have done that. You know, I don't know where he gets his beliefs from. You know, is he reasonable?
I don't think so.
Go to the next officer.
James Kimonge. This officer was given acting responsibility since 2019, and for purposes of succession management in the department, the board promoted the officer considering that he had met all the requisite requirements for the position and acted in the same position for more than 2 years, and was recommended by the Departmental Human Resource Advisory Committee. So the board deliberated this case on pages 466 to page 460. This is full.
So that officer is stagnated.
No, this one was promoted on the purpose of achieving succession management. He had been acting in this position, and therefore the board confirmed in that position, which was 1 job group higher.
Which was 1 job group higher. So he had acted well.
Yes.
Now, did he have the qualifications?
Yes.
To act and therefore to be confirmed in that position.
He had the qualifications.
Then go to the next one.
John Angasa Onyego, this officer was in charge of our KDSP program. This KDSP program is a World Bank funded program that is for the purpose of improving aspects of human resource in the county. And he was promoted due to recommendation of exemplary performance in the respective department. The recommending department, Human Resource Advisory Committee, enumerated a number of projects the officer had proposed, initiated, and completed with support of KDSP funding. You can refer to volume 4, page 462. Yes.
You have already made reference to it?
Yes.
Then go to another officer. So that is the officer who had brought a lot of money.
You can refer to
as a sub. Is that the officer who had brought money to the county as a sort of KDSP program?
Right. Then this officer actually was the one who was in charge of the programs like Anduru Hospital, Marani Hospital that were being upgraded by this KDSP program. He was the key person, the lead role, and that is why the board considered him, and he had been recommended also by the department under which he was serving.
Go to the next one.
Lilian Vunareri Maisiba. The officer was, I want to clarify the officer was not promoted within 6 months, more than once. However, the officer's promotion was done in December 2021. And before the implementation, it was reviewed upon appeal. So the officer appealed the decision of the promotion which had been carried out in December 2021. And the decision upon the appeal of the officer was reviewed in 2022 and the recommendation for the waiver of some of the requirements upon the exemplary performance. So you can also refer in volume 4, page 433.
So does the law and the regulations allow an officer who has been promoted?
If I read in 433,
yes.
The officer has been Lilian Vunareri Maisiba, Chief Public Communications Officer. The officer has been handling enormous responsibilities serving in the first Department of Administration, Corporate Services, and Stakeholder Management. She has been outstanding in the dispensation of her duties in the following areas: assisting the CEC in coordination of government business with other departments, coordination of business between the county headquarters and developed units, stakeholder management and engagement issues where she developed the stakeholder database and coordinates business with internal stakeholders. Participation in donor funding activities in liaison with the Office of the Economic Advisor, assist in coordination of intergovernmental issues with the national government and other government agencies. Outstanding performance as designated public communications officer in the World Bank funded KDSP program that saw an increase in the county's allocation. Preparations for the Madaraka and later Mashucha celebrations, participation in the County Emergency Response Committee Secretariat during the COVID-19 pandemic, among others. This recommendation emanated from the office of the CCM in the department, and it was addressed to the Acting Secretary, County Public Service Board. That is one of the recommendations.
All right. Now,
this officer was also recommended on page 437, and I can read recommendation for promotion.
Volume? Which volume?
Volume 4. And I can read to the Secretary, County Public Service Board, KC, recommendation for promotion on merit. The above subject reverse. The underlisted officers have demonstrated a high degree of dedication, commitment, and passion in their work, and this has caught the eyes of and attention of the government. To reward this outstanding performance in dispensing their duties, it is hereby recommended that they be promoted on merit. Attached find promotional case by case for each officer for your perusal and action.
And is that list including that officer?
Yes.
The list runs from which page to which
The
page?
list runs from page 438. No, 437, that is where the letter is. Then 438, 439. Yeah. Then you can see in page 440.
Yes.
We also have recommendations from the Kisii municipality officers. That is recommendation from that department of municipality. So after these deliberations,
committee members, foreigners are getting into the committee's proceedings.
Yes.
Member can withdraw.
This after the
kindly let's make sure that our phones are disciplined. Can we proceed?
Thank you. Yeah, you need to be orderly.
Thank you.
Proceed.
Right, allow me to read some of these cases.
Yes, read them.
Because they have been mentioned. I want to look at the case of a request for promotion of Zacchaeus Omwenga.
Which page are you reading?
I'm reading 438.
Yes.
Zacchaeus Omwenga, he joined the county public service in 2015 and has progressed through the ranks to the position of senior administrative officer in the office of the county secretary. Among his duties, he is responsible for coordinating the administrative operations of the county secretary's office, actively participated in the development of the county human resource policies manual, coordination and spearheading of performance management, training of senior management staff on performance management, reporting and evaluation and rapid results initiative in the county. Liaison officer for the Department of Roads, Public Works and Transport, Kisii Municipality Board, Finance and Procurement, tracking of performance reporting. The officer's efforts, dedication and performance in the above instances have been exemplary and therefore is highly recommended for promotion on merit. I also want to read on
Yes.
his immediate supervisor and the department had recommended for his promotion. I also want to read one for Fifian Omariba. She joined the county public service in 2017 and has progressed through the ranks to the position of research officer, one in the office of the county secretary. Among duties she is responsible for include coordinating multi-secretary activities and programs in liaison with relevant departments, organizing meetings and events, and coordinating the various departments, ensuring action is taken on both internal and external communications channeled to the office of the county secretary, or such activities related to policy formulation and affecting decision making in government functions. The officer's efforts, dedication, performance in the following instances were noticeable and qualifies her for commendation.
So that's a recommendation of that officer from the line department?
Yes.
Which other person?
I want to. Those are that we have many others. I have already said we have a request from the DHR, the departmental committee of from municipality, officers serving under the municipality. They have been recommended by their department for promotion, that is 440. This is the Department of Administration. Then when we go to 441, there is a communication after deliberations from the board. There is a communication to the county secretary to effect what the board had allowed. and
Now-
also communicate what the board had declined.
This gentleman tells you that you did not ensure that 30% of the positions of recruitment and promotion were not from the dominant ethnic community in the county. My question to you is, has he given you a breakdown of whatever he's saying, which community is majority, which one is minority, and their level of performance in your staff recruitment and promotion? Have you seen such a document?
He has not.
Has he told you which is that community that is not dominant in this county?
No.
Would you know, for instance, what he had in mind by ethnic community was?
No.
Now, he's also telling you that, you see, you did not have an open and transparent process of promotions and recruitment. From what you have told this committee, the way recommendations were made, the way communications were made, you considered the community well. Is there anything which was done outside the law?
No.
No. Let's go to the next allegation he's making at page 35. And it runs to page 36. He is saying that you failed to provide for human resource management and career development practices. And he says that one of the issues you did not do, you failed to develop and maintain an establishment with the approved staff numbers. The staff did not have numbers, and the numbers so far recruited, and the standing staff needs. What is your comment on that?
Thank you. I want to say that the County Public Service Board has complied with that requirement on human resource and career development. And I wish to state as follows. The County Public Service Board is the overall overseer of the human resource management and development in the county government as espoused under Section 59(1)(h) of the County Government Act 2012, amended 2020. The board has developed customized schemes of service for various cadres who are serving in the County Public Service Board, which guide their professional developments. You can refer for us.
So,
Volume 2.
which volume I make a reference to?
Volume 2.
Yes.
In Volume 2, but it's from page 95,
Yes.
but from page 198,
Yes.
those are schemes of service
Yes.
all the way to page
'What you do, just read out each department scheme of service. The first one at 198 is what?
page 98. We have the revised scheme of service for finance/budget officers.
So those ones are there. Which other department?
We have on page 224, we have revised scheme of service for drivers.
Yes. Which is the next one?
Page 237, we have schemes of service for water and sewerage personnel.
Yes. Proceed.
On 259, we have the ratified scheme of service for sports personnel.
Yes. So
Volume 3, we also have Volume 3.
volume 3 has what? Just check.
Oh, this was Volume 3. All right.
Volume 2, where's volume 2?
Volume 2. We have revised schemes of service.
Which page? Which page?
Page 440, page 144A.
Yes.
We have revised a scheme of service for economists and statisticians.
Yes.
We have on page 157A revised scheme of service for agricultural personnel. We have 170B, we have revised scheme of service for nursing personnel. On page 183A, we have revised schemes of service for inspectors, electronics and mechanical building services. And I want to state that we have carried these ones to demonstrate that we have the schemes of service that we rely on career guidance. The board has in place a human resource policies and procedures manual, which was rolled out in April 2018.
Where is that
document? It is here. You can also access the same document on the Kisii County website. Now, this booklet gives guidelines on all aspects of county human resource public service development. In addition, we have a training for staff and development policy in place. Then we also have, we also use the Public Service Commission guidelines. The board has from time to time issued delegation instruments as actually brought out in our Kisii County Human Resource Policies and Procedures Manual for the County Public Service Board. It is this delegation that has established the Departmental Human Resource Advisory Committees and the County Human Resource Advisory Committees for purposes of delegation and the proper supervision of staff within the departments. Yes. The board has, together with the executive, developed and approved staff establishments for all county departments and for the whole of the Kisii County government. This one you can check, volume 1, pages 17A.
Just go there and show them what document you're relying on. You can see the way they are tired, that you have always done all these things which he was lying to them about.
70A.
They are wondering where I was. Go to 70.
Page 70A, volume 1.
Yes. What is there?
We have an approved staff establishment.
Yes.
For the financial year 2021-2022.
Yes.
So this is where we establish who serves where and how these people are allocated duties.
Which other documents would you want this committee to look at?
And I want them to look at the Public Service Commission guidelines. This is 90A.
Which volume?
Volume 1.
Volume 1, to which page?
It runs from 90A. That is the Public Service Commission Act. The one I'm talking about is 90A is Public Service Commission Act.
So, in a nutshell, Vice Chair, is there any issue concerning human resource, career development, career progression, and attendant issues, which is not provided for by the board in an instrument?
No, the board has complied with the requirement on career development.
Did this gentleman write to you requesting for these documents that you have made reference to until people are now tired here? Did
No.
they request for those documents?
No.
Now, let's look at another allegation at page 36. He's saying that you have not complied as a board with the provisions of the Constitution on public finance management, that while you are discharging your mandate. And he's making reference specifically to the translation of terms from...
I want to interject kindly. Because Council Mugusu, I can see you are proceeding with the next allegation. I will kindly request, because of time, we stop there, so that you note where you have reached, so that we can proceed from the next allegation. That is, if you agree with what I have said. But still, if you don't agree, we can...
Well, Chair, we have no problem. We want also to carry the committee along.
Yes.
We don't, you have seen, I've observed several times that some members, even young ones, are sleeping. In quotes, that's not parliamentary language, but they are dozing. Now, we therefore are stopping at 5:22.
We leave it, and it's good that we are talking at the point that he has now become a good friend of mine, Councillor Mugusu, about parliamentary language. In Parliament, we don't lie. So there is that terminology used here that he's lying about. That's not acceptable. You can replace it incorrect, or but we do not accept that. Parliamentarians don't lie, Our statute do not allow us to do so.
We are making reference to the petitioner where we have established several lies.
Yes, but...
not the committee, but him, he has been lying.
It's not... It's not allowed. We don't allow that. That's why this is our process. That the lying is not acceptable, because it's not parliamentary for us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So, Chair, because he used parliamentary, and it's good for us to guide him in a court, that's acceptable, maybe. But for us, that's not. Honorable members, we are also honorable. And the decorum that lying does not come is not part of us. Thank you.
Thank you for your concern. Well guided. So when the chair was saying, your interjection came at 5:22, after we had just spent 2 hours sharp. So our 3 hours then. We have 3 hours left. If then that is noted in the Hansard, then we shall begin from where we have left. You have no objection to your proposal.
Thank you. From the side of the petitioner.
And Chair, before we finish, kindly.
Right. Yes.
I was requesting that previously we've started at 10:30, purely because of the reason that we're litigation counsel. We have matters in court in the morning. We were requesting that you allow us start at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, to accommodate our matters in court.
The petitioner.
Chair, we have matters in court, but we are keen to conclude this matter. We have spread the responsibility amongst us as council, and it is not that it is always all of us who are here all the time. This matter is just as important as the matters in court. My suggestion was going to be actually slightly different, that tomorrow we make time and start a little earlier. so that we are then able to get through. Now that we finally have the respondents moving, we then get through more work tomorrow. So I don't really agree with my learned colleague that we be given time to deal with our matters. We have all made sacrifices so that this matter can proceed. My request is that we start a little earlier so that we can recover some of the time.
What time do you suggest, Council?
As early as possible, as early as the committee will convene, we are available to come. This is our priority, even 8:30 if possible.
Committee members, Honorable Celestine.
I think we can convene at 9 a.m.
Considering the issues raised, I think 9:30 will be okay to me.
Yeah, let us take 9:30. Let's take 9:30. That will give us a balance. Councillor Mogusu, you can try to balance so that we can be able to expedite our process. 9:30 is okay.
Chair, I'm the one that made the 10:30 request. We hold this committee in the highest regard and respect it well. It's not in my nature to possibly mention the matters like we do in court that I'm handling, but it's an extremely important matter involving one of your colleagues whose seat is at stake, so that sometimes these are matters that were fixed earlier. But having heard the sentiments of your colleagues, I think 10 a.m. then will be okay, so that we balance our matters and see what we can do. Some clients insist on personal appearance, especially politicians.
Thank you for those requests that you have heard from the honorable members and you've heard from the side of the petitioner. You well know that this matter is a weighty matter, and really time is of essence, and as we agreed going forward, we are not going to waste any time that we get. So I'll make a request that we try to adjust our events so that we can converge here tomorrow at exactly 9:30 so that we can proceed. 9:30. So the thank you. I have the letter. You know, I fear making a commitment before I make necessary inquiries. So allow me to do necessary inquiries about this, so that I will make a communication first thing at 9:30 a.m.
And Chair, what you need to do is to hand over back my letter, because
Here it is.
with the
I have a copy. Now you can have the original.
for our records. And number 2, Chair.
So this session stands adjourned until tomorrow at exactly 9:30 a.m.